Hey everybody, welcome to Repetitions and Routine, day number 29. We are focusing on the core today through a few unconventional moves, a couple new moves, and some old ones, so it should be fun getting into the core. So let's go ahead and warm up just a bit, and then I'll go through our equipment list. You should have seen it on the write-up anyway. So let's just lie on our backs. And I'm going to have you hug your left knee in to the chest. Keep your right leg long in front of you. Take a nice deep inhale and then an exhale, and we're going to switch. Take an inhale and an exhale and switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, and switch. Perfect. All right, we're going to go through just a little bit of thoracic twist, some mobility here. Put your arms out nice and wide in a T. Let your upper back lay flat on the ground and then lower your knees to the left. And then we'll take your knees up through the middle and then lower to the right. Up through the middle, lower to the left, middle, and lower right. Last time, we'll go one each way. All right, so we kind of have a wide array of equipment today. But if you do not have the wide array of equipment, don't worry about it. You can always use your dumbbells and get a great workout. So I have a set of 2 heavy kettlebells. I'm going to be using those for support, actually, for an L sit. Let's see, I'll just go through the order. We're going to take like a time set to kind of warm us up through bridges and planks. And then from there, our repeating set will be using all the equipment. So you're actually going to start with a weighted boat. So I'm going to use a 12-pound dumbbell for that. You can also just go body weight, but you're going to bring your legs up and we're going to tap our weight down to the side, then go all the way up overhead and then other side. So we're making a rainbow over our boat and we'll do that 10 each side. From there, we're going to do a halo. And you can use your dumbbell, or I'm going to use a 12-kilogram kettlebell. On the horns you hold, one elbow comes up all the way around. You're going to go 10 one direction and then 10 the other. So unconventional for core. It's not holding a plank. We're not doing a sit-up, but you're building that foundation and hold so that as you twist around, your body is staying still and stable. From there, we're going to be doing our L sit with a leg raise. All right, so this is what I'm going to use my heavy kettlebells for. If you don't have the kettlebells, you can use books or blocks or a chair like you would do for tricep dips. You just hinge yourself on the edge of the chair. Your butt will barely slide off, and then you can do your leg lift from there. So basically, we're going to suspend and hold the hips up, and then we're going to be pulling one leg and then the other. And we're basically just going to march 10 each side, using the core to lift those legs, taking that self-activation and hold. Then we're going to be using a band. If you don't have a band, then you're going to do a single leg deadlift to balance row. All right, so basically you're hinging forward. So our right hand will hold the band and our right leg is actually going to be stable on the ground. So you're going to hinge back behind with one leg lifted and then pull the band as your knee marches in. So if you don't have that band option, then you will do a single leg deadlift on the same side that we normally do. So if your left leg's on the ground, your right hand will hold the weight. You're going to hinge forward and then come up and march, pulling that knee. All right, so balance takes a lot of core. We want to find and focus that core to help hold our balance. And the last one is going to be a kettlebell swing. 10 kettlebell swings. If you don't have that kettlebell, of course, as always, your dumbbell works just fine. So make sure you're using momentum, that swing and thrust from the glutes. All right, so we are going to go ahead and start with a 2-minute glute bridge. We're going to drop and lift for 2 minutes. Ready, set, and go. Drop those hips just barely to the ground and then lift them up. Whatever you want to do with your arms. Might feel nice to hold them behind the head. It's easy to kind of just thrust the hips without really thinking about activating the glutes. So think it through. You kind of release the glutes as they drop toward the ground, and then really dig in and flex the big part of the gluteus maximus to push those hips back up to the top. Find some flexion through your inner and outer thighs. Should get that burn through the glutes pretty fast, but you have to force it to happen, especially if you've been doing glute bridges with us a while. They can get easier, so you have to find that self-flexion. I'm always talking about self-flexion. It really takes your workouts to the next level. There's our first minute. Big squeeze, pause at the top. Make sure the core is staying active. Glutes are a big part of our foundational muscle group. Supports everything else going on in the body. So at the top of that press, you want to feel your hips be square to the shoulders, between shoulders and knees. Keep it rolling. My booty's burning. I hope yours is too. Big, big squeeze. Feel the big portion. We're going to flip straight away into a front plank right now. So flip over, elbows on the ground. Pull your chest forward so that you're right between those elbows. Tuck deep into the abdomen. Really build flexion through the core by finding traction between your elbows and your toes. We're going to hold 2 minutes here, and then we're going to have a 1 minute side hold each side. Find that gentle flex through the glutes. That's going to help tuck your pelvis and hold the low back where it should be, your pelvis where it should be, so that your core and abdomen are supporting the body. You're also using your upper back to help support the shoulders. Kneecaps draw up toward your hips. There's 1 minute. We have 1 to go. Try to regulate your breathing. Strong, strong flexion through that core. Make sure those shoulder heads are hovering forward. Dig in under that rib cage. You've got it. Keep hips in line with shoulders. Make sure they don't start popping up or drooping. We have 13 seconds left. You can make it. Push in through the shakes. Shake is good. 3, 2, and then turn to your first side. Stack up your hips. Stack up your shoulders. If you need to bring your top leg over and help support, that's fine. Or you can also drop your bottom knee. Flex into the back and the obliques to support the shoulder. Try to find lengthening through your back and your chest. And keep driving those hips up toward the ceiling. Lift and hold. 20 seconds left. You got it. Last 10. 4, 3, 2, and turn. Other side. Roll it over. Keep that flexion. If you need to take a little seat through the middle, drop onto your knees to roll over. That's fine. But practice maybe rolling through your plank at some point. Hold that flexion through the core. Keep that strong foundation. The legs you got to flex. We only have 15 seconds left to go, and then we'll be in our next portion of our set. Just a nice big wake-up call for the core here. Make sure it's ready to work us through the rest. Okay, time. Go ahead and take a quick child's pose. Good solid plank set always starts to build some sweat. All right. So we're going to start with our boat rainbow, 10 each side. All right, grab that dumbbell. If you're going to use one, pull both legs up off the ground. Find your balance. You're going to row to one side, all the way up overhead, and then the other. There's one. Keep flexing through the core just like we were for our plank. Get that back working a little as well as you press up overhead. Five. Tighten and tuck through that abdomen. You got it, you got it. 8. Flex all the muscles you can. Build that heat. And 10. Perfect. All right, coming up, we have our halos. Stand tall. Make sure that you have your solid stance. So tuck the hips. Pelvis is neutral to the floor and under your shoulders. 3. Tighten, tighten, tighten. 'Focus on that rib cage flexion. 9 and 10. Whew, my shoulders. Feeling that core as well. Here we go. 1, 2. Focus on that core flexion. Hopefully that will help take some of the work out of the shoulders. If you're feeling it like I am. 7, 8. Make sure one elbow is getting way up and around. The other one digs under. 10. Whee. All right, we're going to hit that L sit with our leg raise. Another option, depending on your core and flexibility, you can try holding both legs up while we're marching. I don't even know if I can. Ooh, couple seconds. All right, here we go. 1, focus that belly. So feel like the core is what's pulling those legs up, supporting that upper back. 8, focus that belly lock. Don't just lift the legs. 10 and 10. It's like you have a band on the ground, pulling that leg and resisting the lift up. Okay, we're going to have our balance row. Remember, you can do your single leg deadlift to march if you'd like. Level off those hips. Hinge forward. You don't want to rush these. You want to force the core to contract and support our balance. 2, 3. Focus on your core, connecting first. Little wobble's good. 6. Whew, you have to find all those little connections to keep you upright. 7, 8. Gonna feel heat in that leg too. 9 and 10. Something to work on. Always like something to work on. I think that's what I love about working out and exercise. There's always something to add as far as the challenge goes. The challenge keeps us coming. I know we all want a pill to take that'll just get us where we want to go, but the journey getting there is actually a lot of the health teaches us so much along the way. The journey, the practice, keeping it going, what we learn from our mistakes. 7, 8, you got to flex it all. Woo. 9 and 10. Woo, especially in that extension, you can feel the core want to drop and let go and everything go into the leg, but it's good to keep it in the core. All right, last up we have our kettlebell swings. Remember, regardless of how heavy your heaviest bell is, envision that it's twice that weight. We're only doing 10, so lock into the core. Always pick up from in front of you. Try not to start from your hips already picked up. 3, lock your hips right over your heels. 7, 9, 10. Set it down the same way. Perfect. All right. There's one round. Going into our second with our boat rainbows. Here we go. Lock your core all the way up and over. Six. Tighten that belly button back. Remember, we're here for core, so tighten that first. Flex all the way around that rib cage. 10. All right. I'm going to give this bell another shot. Tighten up through that core. Big, big flexion through the upper back. The glutes hold the pelvis in place. 7, 9, 10. Other way. 4. How much flexion? All the way around that rib cage. Focus there. Keep space between ears and shoulders. Watch the pelvis, especially as the arms go behind. 9 and 10. Whew. All right. We're going to hit our L sit. Lock the belly. Here we go. I have a slight hunch, not like a thinking hunch, but a back hunch, kind of hunkered over that core just a bit to really help delve into my belly, almost like I'm in a crunch or starting crunch. 8, 9, lock and load that core, and 10. All right, we're going to get that balance row. Balance knee tuck. So if you're on the band, same leg that's on the ground. If you're on kettlebell, you do opposite leg or opposite hand than the leg that's on the ground. 2, 3, find that solid stance at the top. No rushing. 7, really build that focus. It's the same with those L-sit raises to really connect my brain to where I want to work. I think one more. Nice job. Other side. Definitely a different type of intensity today. Lots of focus. You should be building some heat. But super low grade heart rate. It's good to back off your intensity certain days. High intensity intervals are actually not recommended very often per week. Stresses the body. So following up with just flexions, weight and strength training, super helpful, healthy and effective. Keeps us injury free, or at least less prone to injury, hopefully. 3, 2, watch that toe on the ground, that it's straight ahead, and your knee is tracking with that toe. All right, swings. Lock and load that core, shoulder blades back and down. The bell is raising, swinging forward, just purely because of that thrust of the hips. 8, 10. Well done. All right. 2 sets. Done. Let's see what we can get out of that third set. Lift up those legs. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Tighten under that rib cage. Don't forget 10, and 10. All right, let's hit those halos. Lots of belly. Firm foundation in those feet, thighs, hips, core, upper back. 8, 10. Come on, come on. Dig in. Make sure your knees are staying soft. Nine, 10. Whee. All right. Set up your base for your leg pulls. From that L-sit position, lock it in. 3, 7. Tuck and pull that low belly back a little more. See if you can keep pulling it a little more, 9, 10. Good job, good job. Balance row. Building that balance, so important. 1, all right, we'll run it just a little faster than I want to, so we can get all of our reps. 3, 4. So focus on that core. 6, almost like a bird dog, a standing bird dog, and that extension. 9, 10. Oops. There we go. 2, 4, 5. You can tap and prod and check in. Wake up the muscles that you're wanting to use. 7. 9, 10. Good work. All right, swings. Remember, you're not squatting. Just hinge, thrust. 6, 7, 10. That whole back line of flexion, posterior chain. Nice work. All right, come down to your mat on your hands and knees, and let's go through a cow pose real quick. Slide the shoulder blades down. You can lift your head, let the belly sag, and then round. Create that opening and expansion through your vertebra. Come to a neutral spine. Swing your hips right. Hold a second, and then swing your hips left. Good, good. All right, bring your right leg forward all the way into a pigeon. Walk that back knee back and settle in. Level off your pelvis. Pigeon is a good overall stretch. You'll definitely feel it in your glute, inner thigh. Sometimes I feel my calf, my knee, low back. If pigeon doesn't work for you, then you can lie on your back and hit a figure 4 stretch, crossing your knee or ankle over the knee and pulling from behind. Good, good. All right, let's switch it up to the other side. Quick little stretch. As much as you can throughout your day, try to find extra little pockets. Our day usually doesn't facilitate time on its own. Probably most of us don't find ourselves being bored, so you will have to kind of try to cue yourself for when you need to grab a quick stretch, a low squat, a forward fold, even just circling around your hips or reaching up overhead, grabbing a few deep breaths. We all should do it. So if the people around you think you're weird, it won't take long before they'll probably try, because you'll feel so good and be so happy. They'll want to get what you got. All right, bring those legs up. We're going to get those hamstrings right here. Always a good thing to stretch those hamstrings. Drive the backs of the knees back. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day with a super strong, fixed core. Whether you're sitting, standing, or walking, keep it engaged.